Hey, I want to talk about something. It's also the same thing that happened during the pandemic, right? Like when the
Yeah.
pandemic happened, people ended up becoming very divided about whether or not they're going to be vaccinated or they weren't going to be vaccinated, right down to, the family cellular level where
Right.
you had people within one family who were very divided. And it's like, it is I think so important to understand what it is that what is it that I can control,
Yep.
right? So what do I need to do to be a good human? What does that look like to me? And everybody's answer is going to be different for that, right? It's not like I'm saying there's a right or a wrong answer, but everybody's going to have a different answer to how do I become what is it that I can do for me to make me feel that like I am in control and that I actually am doing whatever it is that I can in my sphere, and hopefully that's not going to be bumping up, like literally bumping up against other people's spheres. Yes, it will, obviously, depending on how your control is talked about, how you approach people with
Mm-hmm.
your different opinions, different
Mm-hmm.
dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but that also is within your control. You know what I mean?
I think what has happened is, I think back of growing up, how do I want to put this? I think I found a lot of um myself, I would get anxious and nervous around things that just seemed that caused fighting. And so what I do now is I just don't participate in those things anymore. I protect my boundaries in the craziness of everything that's going on in the world. Um, and I know within this platform, we stay very generic, and I love that about it. And I think the goal that I want to say is it is okay to, if the news, whatever news you listen to, is giving you anxiety, shut off the TV. Like, shut that off. If if we have to protect ourselves. Like I protect my inners, my anxiety by shutting off things that it has nothing to do with whether I agree with what the person is saying or I disagree with what the person is saying. I just shut it off because it's just to me so volatile. And so I just remove myself from that situation. I think we've forgotten how to be kind. So I choose to be kind to myself and how I have this environment around me. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Kindness starts from you and then
Yes.
but if you're in a point where you're feeling too much around you, what are some
Hmm.
just really basic things? Like I would say right off the bat, go for a walk, turn off
Right.
the news.
Turn off
Like
the news.
how do we control our environment or control
Yeah.
what do we have that we can control that will help us on our day to day?
You
That's
know,
that's the question. That's
right.
exactly the question you ask. What
Yeah.
is within my control? I
Yes.
don't have control over all of these bigger
Right.
things
No.
that are outside of my control. What do
Right.
I have
Yeah.
control of? I have
Yes.
control of what it is that I'm going to do. I have
Yeah.
control over how I want to act. I have
Be
control over
kind.
how I want to
Yeah.
respond. I have
Yes.
control over giving kindness and
Yes.
putting that out into the world. I
Just
have control of that.
okay, but control of how I want to respond. So, what are good ways? Because that's a big one. Like, I'm
Yeah.
responding to everything. How do I respond in a way for myself, for everyone, like who's ever watching, that they feel
Yeah.
good about themselves? They feel good about taking control of their piece of the
Right.
where they are in their
Uh,
response. Like,
So I don't, I think everybody feels they have to respond also. Sometimes I don't respond, to be very honest. And it's not that I'm cowering back and I decide I don't want to um, share my thoughts or my inners with somebody because I don't agree with them or I agree or I just sometimes don't respond because I don't want to exert that energy. It's not that important to me. We don't always have to respond. Sometimes I think we have to respond. We have to be on one side or another side. And you don't always have to respond. You can say, "Oh, I thank you for sharing that. I hear what you're saying." And there that could be it.
I was more about respond, like,
Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah, I wasn't like I'm talking to I was more
Okay.
respond to like if I saw a car accident, I would have to respond to it. I would be like, this has affected me. So
Yeah.
what do I need to recenter myself? And so that's what
Recenter
I meant
yourself.
by
Yeah.
response. Like there's
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry
like you
about that.
girls are good at this stuff. So what are the tools that I'm going to help myself, and like Michelle, you said you personally are just you're going to be kinder as a person. So I'm just asking, some,
Yeah. If something is really really weighing on me, I know Tracy G, you shake your head at this. I just take pen to paper just to get it out of my heart. And I know, and I'll just have write and I could do whatever I want with that piece of paper. I can leave it. It doesn't, that's not the important piece of it. It's just sometimes we feel these things and we have no place to put them. Well, taking them and putting them on a piece of paper is the exact same thing of having a conversation. It's doing something that is for yourself. And then you talk about you go for a walk. You can, people don't do this. And it was so hard for me. Shut everything off, just sit in silence for a little bit. And 5 minutes of silence is kind of like our previous episode of putting the feet in ice water. Like it helps you just dance. Put on music and dance if you don't want to. Do something silly. Like there you can re-regulate the emotions that you're feeling.
I also
Tracy,
think, sorry, I was just
go
gonna say
ahead.
your 5 minutes of silence back in our
Yeah,
day would have been like a whole day of silence. Like based
I
on
know.
what's at us
Yeah,
now, like 5 minutes
now
of
it's five
silence.
minutes of silence. Yes.
Mhm. Mhm. I also think it's just super important to acknowledge that you feel a
Yeah.
lot, that you're sitting there thinking, oh God, like I feel bombarded by all that is out here and all that is coming at me and whatever it is. I think it's really important to acknowledge that because you will feel seen and heard within yourself by
Hmm.
acknowledging that and being able to sit there. And if you want to cry, just cry.
Oh
Like it's
yeah.
okay to do that. Like just like let it out and go, this is I feel sad about this. I wish things were different. It's okay to wish that things were different.
Yeah.
It's okay to have uncomfortable feelings. I think we think, oh God, I don't, this is I'm feeling, I don't want to feel this, right? I mean, nobody wants to feel anything uncomfortable. But in all honesty, if you can allow that to move through you, it will leave you far quicker and will
Yep.
be longer to show up again than if you
Yep.
resist it by trying to feel better instantly.
Yep.
So allow for all of that and then ask yourself, okay, so, little old me, what do I get to control right
Yep.
now?
Yes. What can you control? What can you do for yourself? Just your environment, where you are. What can you do? Perfect. And that's the way I'm like, what can I do? For me, shut off whatever is heightening. I put on some type of soft music, sit in silence, cry, laugh. I call somebody I haven't talked to in a while. That cheers me up. I go for a walk. Like yeah. Sometimes I think we have to solve problems or we all have to be on the same page or we're all this. And it's none of that.
All good advice.
Tracy G, what do you do if you feel like there's just so much coming at you?
Oh, I'm a music person. I'll play,
Yeah,
I'll put on a lot of music and then I kind of sing to it and and
that's fine
I just
because
have a
you're,
good time because,
yeah,
yeah.
yes. I think sometimes people think if somebody once said to me, well, you're ignoring the situation. No, I'm not ignoring the situation.
Mhm.
I choose not to get my information the same way you do. But I have the information I want to consume. I have what I need, what I want to consume. I don't have to do it your way. And we've lost that. The way I do it is it's comfortable for me. It's what me as a person needs. I love the fact you put on music. I love the fact that you sing. That's you're just like that's perfect.
Well, you know
That
why
helps
that
you.
works for me too is because I find it releases emotion, right? Like when you
Mhm,
sing and like
mhm,
it's movement and
Mhm.
emotion. So
Mhm.
by the end of it, you're like, okay, what's next?
yeah, let's go. Let's go. So, viewer, what do you think? How do you handle it? We're asking just as a general question. Put it in the comments. Let us know. Make sure you share this episode with somebody who you think might be needing this. Make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that like button, and hit notifications so you know when the next episode comes out. Until next time.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.